tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Give your furnace a break with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything, while still keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
This is Monster Jam. Big air, backflips, and all-out racing. Monster Jam, as big as it gets. The fun begins at the pit party, where you can meet the drivers, get autographs, take pictures, and see the trucks up close. Get your pit party pass at monsterjam.com today. Must have valid event ticket to enter pit party. Restrictions may apply. Rules and activities are subject to change. Visit website for event details. Coming to Pinnacle Bank Arena April 18th through 19th.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Get ready for spring by joining an evidence-based program to improve your health and well-being. These programs use proven strategies to help you make lasting changes, whether it's boosting nutrition, increasing activity, managing stress, or enhancing wellness. Invest in yourself today and feel your best this spring and beyond. Paid for by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Welcome into the LIBA Business Hour, sponsored by Nats to Tasseling, highlighting local independent businesses in and around Lincoln on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here's your host, LIBA's Lincoln's here.
Good morning, Lincoln. I don't want to do the Robert Williams Good Morning Vietnam, but I don't think I can pull it off. Welcome to the LIBA Business Hour. I am Lincoln Zier, and I do have an incredibly interesting topic for us to talk about today. I have Dre Socha. I hope I said that right. Socha. Spelled S-O-C-H, but it's Socha.
Yep.
All right. Dre Socha, who is creating in the process of building out and starting a company called Pulse AI. So Pulse AI, and their website is pulseai.com. Before we jump into that, two things. Number one, given the technical nature of the topics today, I expect there might be some people out there that are like me and want to ask questions. So the text line here at 93.7 The Ticket is 402-464-5685. So we write that down. I suspect there may be some questions. The second phone number I want to give you is the Pulse AI phone number, which is 402-249-2436. And one more technical thing before we get started. I want to thank Nats to Tasseling for sponsoring this segment. Nats has been a long supporter of LIBA. And for those of you that have not heard the podcast or the show that we did with Don Buell and Nats, there is not a person called Nat. Nats actually stands for Not Afraid to Sweat, and their website is notafraidtosweat.com. So thanks, Don, and thanks to Nats to Tasseling. So Dre, first off, 308 area code.
Yes.
Where's that?
Grand Island.
Okay, it's that would be what I would call central Nebraska. Most people would call central Nebraska about York.
Sure.
I grew up in Ogallala.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
So I'm familiar with that. You went to school here in Nebraska, or where did you?
Yeah, I went to Grand Island Central Catholic.
Okay, GSCC.
Yep.
Very good. So I'm going to start off with literally a softball, because this is a question that has been rolling around in my mind about AI probably for a year.
Sure.
Okay. I go to Google, right? Or you go to Yahoo or whatever, right? And I put in a question. Where does that go? Where does that search? What does that search?
Sure.
And how does it decide what to give me back?
So the simplest way to answer it is it's all just algorithms. It's a machine learning setup to where it's taking inputted information from millions of different people, millions of different accounts, and it's learning. It really truly is. It's not like sentient, which is what a lot of people think of when they think of like, futuristic sci-fi movies, robots that can think for themselves, stuff like that. Like, it doesn't have its own mind, right? It doesn't make its own personal decisions and certain things like that. But it's all just based off of algorithms and repeated patterns. And
so I ask a question about a law in the state of Nebraska.
Sure.
And it provides me feedback based upon the questions it's had about the state laws in the state of Nebraska, or does it go out and search the code, the laws in the state? Or
so I guess one of the best ways to answer this is AI is essentially a mass collection of all human knowledge. So it does have the ability to search the internet. And so
but that's what Google's doing.
Yes.
Right. Google's just searching the internet.
Yes.
Okay. So if it's not on the internet, Google's not going to know. Basically.
Right. Essentially, yes.
Okay. And you distinguish that Internet of Things kind of search versus AI. What has supplemented AI or augmented AI or added information to AI that Google doesn't have?
So you have to train an AI.
Okay. All right. Let's start there. So when you start Pulse AI,
sure,
you literally started with a machine.
Yep.
And said, I'm going to train you.
Yes.
I don't even know where to go from there. So you have a partner.
I do, yeah.
You do, and out of state. What's his background?
He's a genius, honestly. Like, a lot of this back end coding and all of the actual
writing coding. When you say coding, putting it in the language of dummy, is that like writing the algorithms?
Yeah, it's zeros and ones. That's
binary.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's
binary code.
And a lot of these programs will be 150,000 lines of code. Like, it's outrageous numbers of code.
And you say programs. Do you have more than one program running on your platform? Can I call is that right? Could I call it a platform?
Yeah, it's an AI software.
Okay. But in my when you say it's an AI software, it has to run on something.
Sure.
Right. So there's got to be something back there that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Jackson, are you getting this, man? I'm just, jump in anytime,
Slowly. I mean, AI is a growing, thing nowadays. So it's interesting to hear.
Yeah. Well, you guys are like three decades younger than me, or more. And so jump in anytime, Jackson, because here's the thing. This has been a topic that a hot topic for me. I felt passionate about, because one of LIBA's passions, one of LIBA's missions is to educate our members. And there's this overriding philosophy or overriding vision of growth, that LIBA supports growth, right? So how the heck does AI come into that? Well, in my mind, it's a perfect match, because it leverages technology. It leverages, it creates an opportunity for a company to do something maybe automated, as you want to do, that they either couldn't do or wouldn't think of doing before. The difficulty is, in my mind, is I wouldn't call myself old necessarily, but I am definitely on the higher end of the age of a lot of our members and the entrepreneurs out there that are starting businesses. And I want to get this information into their hands in the most digestible way. And I don't know how to do that. I truly do not know how to. I've thought of this for a long time. I don't know how to do that. So this is a great entree into this topic. But so you create a platform. You started with a machine. Your partner does the coding.
Yes.
I call coding quotes in
Sure.
coding, right?
Yep.
And how long how long ago did you start that process?
Oh, 4 months roughly.
Okay.
4 or 5 months.
And he's been doing nothing but drinking Red Bulls and banging away in a locked room.
Yeah, he's been putting in overtime, to say the least. He has been working his tail off. And
so what is this code doing? What is he asking the machine to do? What is he asking the Internet of Things to do when you're because ChatGPT, somebody created ChatGPT.
Yep.
Right? Somebody, is it Claude or whatever it is? Somebody created that.
Sure.
And they're selling it.
Yep.
Okay. You're doing the same thing.
Yes.
Okay. You're just calling yours Pulse AI.
Yes.
You want to take on ChatGPT? We'll get there eventually. We'll take him down.
Sure.
No, but seriously, so you're creating another ChatGPT.
Sort of.
Okay, tell me differently. Tell me how.
So to rewind shortly to a point that you were making, that idea that there are a lot of people that know that this technology exists, but don't grasp it well enough or have the tools readily available to them to be able to start implementing it into their business. That was the entire idea that drove us to come up with this. It was the idea that all of this is here, but yet no one really has a smooth transition into getting their business into it.
Nobody even has a transition, let alone a smooth one.
Yeah.
I mean, smooth might be saying we're going to go from QuickBooks to Sage Intacct on an accounting system because this is a known entity and this is a known entity, and I can create a map to get there. And I know exactly what I'm going to get on the other side, and I know exactly what I'm going to get when I'm done. AI, we don't have anything like that.
No, we don't. And so what we wanted to do, there are a lot of different platforms that are very individualized for what they're for. Like there are automation platforms and AI platforms to help you with your marketing or to help you with your bookkeeping or payroll or all these different things. But to expect everyone to be able to go in, find these individual softwares, set them up appropriately, and have them running smoothly all on 7 different platforms or using 7 different companies, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I think if every business has general needs, every business has, you have to run ads, right? You have to keep track of your finances. You have to keep track of your payroll, like just these base things.
And you're suggesting, saying AI can help that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So the easiest one out of those for me to grasp, simplest one, is marketing.
Sure.
How does Pulse AI help with marketing? How would that work? How would that look?
So there's actually a lot of different things it can do. And we can train it and tweak it and do a lot of different things to where your imagination is kind of the only thing stopping you from what it can do. So examples would be, it can scan competitors' websites and see what types of ads they're running and help you create what type of ads you should be running. It can help track your ad spend and send you suggestions like, hey, this month, your Facebook ads had a 15% higher return than the last few months. The suggestion would be, let's put an
Spend more time on Facebook.
Let's put an extra 10% into the budget of Facebook ads. So it's helping track these things and keep all of these little data points in line, and then relaying that information to the company owner and saying, hey, like this would be a good direction to move, or, these certain ads haven't given a return in X amount of days.
So when you say ads, I mean, what I think of, I mean, obviously, yes, there's the obvious. We put a post on Facebook, right? Or
Sure.
we put a post on LinkedIn. Those are easy.
Right.
The other ones that maybe get a little bit more complicated is, the Google My Business when you're doing a Google ad.
Yep.
Right. And it's a click per pay.
Yep.
Or pay per click, excuse me. It's pay per click. Right. And so,
Right.
you're paying X, and how did that result in a sale or whatever? But in theory, a lot of companies are going to a marketing company. I mean, if they're not doing it themselves, and a lot of people are doing it themselves. But I was part of a franchising business that, created, a marketing plan, and a lot of it was in, Google My Business and getting that GMB page up, and getting Google to recognize them as a valid business,
Sure.
right? Which is a multi-step process. But then, there's still a human element that would come back, and sometimes, unfortunately, it was, in April, they're sitting down talking about the effectiveness of what they did in February.
Sure.
Because it just takes that long. What I'm envisioning here, you're not saying it, but what I'm envisioning here is that this is nearly instantaneous, because it's tracking it, right? I mean, you could sit down on April 5th and see what happened on your ads in March.
Yes. So there with AI, what I think you're kind of hinting at here is there is a component of having that live data integrations. So having the constant feed of data coming in, to be able to make these decisions in a timely manner and be able to track everything. Like you said, it's what's the fame, time is money, right?
Oh.
Like there's anything a business can do to save time is massive.
Well, the ability to respond.
Right.
I mean, because, if a strategy isn't effective, but it takes you 45 days or 60 days to figure out the strategy isn't effective, not only have you wasted 60 days, you've wasted all the money you spent on those ads.
Exactly.
When you say scan competitors' websites, right? So would I sit down and say, okay, I'm just for lack of if I'm you stop, Mark
Sure.
Whitehead, who's a sponsor of this show and a longtime LIBA member. If I'm Mark Whitehead and I'm sitting down and saying Gas and Shop or Quick Shop or Casey's, they're competitors. So I have to tell it who my competitors are, or does it kind of like look at the demographics and the geographics that I'm operating in and tell me who my competitors are?
So that's an interesting question. And the way that we're handling that is it's going to take some time to get all of this completely set up. Because again, these systems, they have to learn.
Yes.
Right. And so we're doing it by industry. Right. And so what's going to happen is, let's give an example. Like let's stick with the gas and oil. So when you're getting signed up and we're going through the whole process of getting your business fully integrated with this AI, it will ask, what industry are you in?
Okay.
And from there, it will constantly be able to tailor your business needs.
So the more information I give it, the better it's going to be, the less, kind of like anything else. So as an example, if I'm, Cheever Construction, and I would say, Hausman probably isn't my competitor. I mean,
Sure.
Hausman's in like 9 states and God knows how big, right? Cheever operates in Lincoln. So that would, but in that same vein, other general contracting firms like maybe NGC or Kingery, or obviously when they have the same like geographic footprint, that is an obvious competitor.
Sure.
Okay. So are these questions that get asked about, like when you're signing up and you're telling me about your industry, do you talk about size? Do you talk about, obviously product, geography, maybe a target demographic? Are these the types of questions
Yes.
that they ask?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you design? Is you and your partner, are you guys designing the questions, or how did you kind of arrive at that?
So it's kind of a mix of both, to where you can actually ask the AI like, hey, give me specific questions that will help you narrow down how to help me improve my business in this specific industry. Like it's to that point, and technology is getting to that point where it can help guide you through even setting itself up.
But did you take? But and I'm going back to again. I'm there was a there's a concept out there called Napoleon's Fool.
Sure.
And Napoleon, when he would write his orders to his troops, not that Napoleon is maybe a great example of somebody we should aspire to, but he would write his orders, and then he would hand it to his liege. I mean, right? And he would say, "Tell me what that says. Don't read it, but tell me what it says." And if didn't come back, if the answer wasn't clear, he would rewrite it.
Yeah.
And so there was this term called Napoleon's Fool. So I feel a little bit like Napoleon's Fool, right? Because if I can get it, I'm pretty confident people out there can get it. But when you start with just a machine, you start with nothing. How does it know what questions to ask?
So you can kind of fast track the training process of an AI with integrating API keys, which is basically taking other companies, like we are integrated with OpenAI, which is ChatGPT. So when you asked me before, are we competing with them?
No, you're using
them. We are using their database, their technology, and the years worth of training that they've already done.
So you mentioned the words open API.
Yes.
Right? API stands for?
I don't know. I don't run any of that.
I think it's automated process integration, right?
I think you're correct.
So, and an API I'm an accountant by trade, by training.
Sure.
And an API simply meant that I can pretty much seamlessly take data out of this software,
yes,
and port it over to this software.
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
And so, Jack, go ahead, man. What you got?
So I just looked
What did
up.
it say?
I actually used AI to ask what Open API is. So a API is a publicly available application programming interface API
there you go.
that allows developers to access and interact with a software application or service, typically without restrictions, enabling broader integration and innovation.
So in the absence of an API, you can't touch ChatGPT. You don't know what's there.
Yes.
But they've provided an API that says, okay, guys, come on in. Right?
Yes.
Is it bi-directional? Do they get access to your information, or are you just getting information, access to theirs?
We are just getting access to theirs.
Okay. So they're the big daddy, right? They're the ones that they're charging, I don't even know what I pay for 4.0 or whatever it is.
$20 a month.
I hope it's not $20 a month, but it probably is.
I think.
But they're out there making money.
Yes.
But they're willing to share their information.
Yes.
Doesn't that sound a little counterintuitive?
I understand the question. I don't quite understand it either. I do understand that
because they're not charging you. An API generally is free.
Yep. It is, from my understanding, a lot of it just has to do with keeping it available to people. It's called Open AI. That's
true. That is true.
There's an aspect of
wasn't it Linux that was like an open programming software? That was before you were born, or Unix, or I don't remember what the software was, or what the platform was, but it was like an open programming. Anybody could program on it,
right?
As opposed to proprietary, where you had to be behind the curtain to figure out what it was doing.
Sure.
Fascinating. So we're just getting started here. We're just getting started. So Dre, first off, thank you for being here. Thank you for entertaining I feel like a neophyte all over again, but my my dumbed down questions. Jackson's laughing at me over there. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be back. But if you guys have if you've got questions for Dre that I'm not asking, please feel free to text in. Again, that's 402-464-5685. This segment was sponsored by Nats Detasseling and Don Buell. We will be back to the LIBA Business Hour after this break.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
It's the two-fingered wave on a gravel road. It's letting the kids take dad's truck to prom. It's Friday nights under the lights of a hometown football field. Eustace Body Shop knows small towns. It's where our values are rooted. We treat our people right, and in turn, they treat you, our customer, right. And we give back to our communities. Not much more small town than that. Eustace Body Shop, small town service, big city technology.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? Do you need a lawyer you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion? The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Contact us for a free consultation by calling 877-42-LIBERTY. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group, trial attorneys you can trust.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
LES wants your feedback. Help shape your electric utility's direction and priorities by taking an anonymous online survey. Make your voice heard before the survey closes on April 30th at les.com/survey.
You grew up on cereal for breakfast and you graduated into drinking coffee at some point as an adult. Now there's a place in Lincoln where you can stay caffeinated but eat like you used to. Control Coffee and Cereal Bar brings Saturday morning vibes to every day with locally roasted specialty coffees, Lotus energy drinks, and tons of breakfast cereals with toppings. And did we mention they have video games to play while you're there too? Control Coffee and Cereal Bar open 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday and 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on the weekends at 15th and Pine Lake.
Back to the LIBA Business Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This segment sponsored by Integrated Behavioral Health Services.
Back to the LIBA Business Hour. I'm Lincoln Zier. With LIBA, I have Dre. I'm going to say it again wrong, Bet. Saka. Dang it. Sorry, Bet.
That's all right.
Shout out to Integrated Behavioral Health and Jeremy. Jeremy and Integrated Behavioral were big sponsors at last week's Free Enterprise Celebration. That was an incredible event. So sorry if you missed it, but you missed out. But Jeremy, thank you for your support of LIBA and for this segment. Dre and I, my mind is just reeling with some of this stuff, and so I'm asking more questions as we're off air, and I'm going to say this in what I heard you say off air. Okay, so there's a software, you called it Podio, Podio.
Yep.
Okay, so in old man terminology, that's kind of just a voice over internet protocol, VoIP telephone software.
Yes.
Right. So I have Podio installed, and I'm using that to make my phone calls to customers.
Yeah.
And I have this 25-minute phone call with a customer.
Yep.
And customers got some things they're not happy about or questions, whatever. What I heard you say is that you can record that call, and Pulse AI will come back and give you a summary that said, you talked for 30 minutes, but your customer was really upset about these 3 topics.
Yes.
And this is what you committed to do and your follow-ups.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And first of all, you wouldn't have to have Podio downloaded. It is already integrated into our software. So it's
okay.
Part of what we already have. So it's the same way, we have ChatGPT's information. We have Podio put into our software. So that's again, like, we are trying to be a central hub for everything. You don't have to have 15 different things downloaded and get logged into all of them and
try and tie them together.
Yes,
okay.
Exactly.
So we talked a little bit again about, how does somebody get started and because one of the obviously the things that a business is going to be sitting out there thinking about is not only how do I use that, which is a lot of this topic is about, is how do I use it. But one of their questions is the secondary question maybe, and maybe the bigger question is, what's my ROI, right? How much does this cost me to do, and what's my ROI? And I can think of that phone call. I mean, I have trouble. Wake up in the morning and it feels like a blank slate every morning, and I'm starting all over again, right?
Right.
So I can see some obvious ROI when, I can record a phone call, and then I don't have to take complete note. I mean, you almost can't write and talk at the same time, right? If you're not focused on the customer, not focused on your phone call when you're doing this. So I can see that value. But you mentioned, like, could it scan my emails and say, hey, these are 3 things that you've got to do today because they're burning. Platforms are burning. Or what's another example of how I would use it?
Sure. So, I mean, one of the other things that was a immediate pain point for us when we were looking into it was a lot of small business owners that I've been around, I've worked for, I've met throughout my life. It's all the stuff that they have to do the second that day's worth of work is done. They got it. Well, all right. Well, now, I got to go write up some invoices. I have to go do payroll. I have to go home and create a new ad to post on this. I have to go, call my accountant. I have to, like, it's all of the extra things that these business owners are spending countless hours on over the weekends, or trying to juggle phone calls while they're at a job site, or, whatever the case is. It's all of that extra time that we notice, like all these people are putting into it, and we wanted to help reduce that as much as humanly possible.
So it's almost like downloading your day, right? I mean, in
a way, yeah.
I'm saying, okay, I got all these things that happened today.
Sure.
And that's resulted in, I had 6 to do things when I started. Now I've got 9.
Yep.
Because I didn't get any of the 6 done and I've added 3, or I got 6 done and I've added 9. How does that integrate into their life? I mean, okay, they said they have to trigger something like, okay, I want an ad, right? We need to create an ad. You mentioned it goes out and it scans competitors' websites.
Yep.
So does it come back to me and say, hey, this is what your competitor is doing. This is what your competitor is saying. If you want to counter that,
yep,
here's what we would recommend.
Yes and no. So it can come back and tell you all of those things, but the way it sounds like you're describing is it's still almost too manual. What we can set it up with is
okay. I thought that was pretty automated.
It is. It is for sure. It definitely is. But having the individual and having the business owner still have to make all of these decisions.
To trigger it, having to trigger something.
Yeah. So what we can do is we set it up with like a budget. We'll say this is okay, what our ad spend is. This is where we want it to go, and we want you to track how well these are doing and make changes as you go. And it will just take that ad spend and it will generate an ad and it'll post it and it'll track it. It'll do it. It'll do it all.
So advertising is pretty intimate for most companies, right? Sure. Because you've got a mission statement, right? And you've got a brand, and you've got, you want to make sure that the ads, certain ads that one company might issue, another one would never.
Sure.
Because they just have a completely different, philosophy. Does it take into consideration that?
That also goes back to when we are taking in a specific company and beginning the integration process. That's the type of information that we would be giving the AI right off the bat. This is the company slogan. This is the logo. This is this is their mission statement. This is where they
core values.
Yeah.
Right. So you can't write an ad that's inconsistent with that core value.
Yes.
Right. But by loading that in, that's what you're trying to say to the AI is,
yep.
Integrity is one of our core values.
Absolutely.
So don't write an ad about trying to skirt the law.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's probably a really crappy example, but
yes, it's tailor made to every single business that uses it. It's not a 5-minute setup. It does take some time. It's going to take a couple days here and there to get things fully integrated, but that's the idea.
So you talked about pain points. I mean, I think, and when we talked on the phone last week, or I said earlier this week, no, it was last week, that you've identified pain points by talking to companies.
Yes.
By literally sitting down with them and asking, where are you spending an inordinate amount of time? Or
sure.
Right. Payroll. How does it do payroll? Is it just a time collection, or is it?
Yeah. So there's a handful of different ways to go about that, but essentially you can create a profile for an employee and, set what they get paid at, set their hours, and it'll direct deposit them their money on a scheduled basis.
So you literally have a payroll processing software in this platform.
Yes. Yeah. We have everything. Like, there's definitely still
things. File your quarterly 941s too.
We're not there yet. That's the exciting. Okay. That's the exciting thing about this, though, is that it's never going to stop growing.
No, this is incredible. This is crazy.
It's going to continue to learn new things, and that's why we're so excited to start getting these first customers onboarded and letting it learn all the ins and outs of each individual industry and learn like every little tiny detail that nothing else available right now really knows, because you have to put that time into training it. So, it really is going to be tailor fit to what these companies' needs are. We can start from the ground up too. Like if it needs to, it will build you a website. Like if you don't have a website, it'll build you a website. It can do web development. So it'll
wait a minute.
Yeah.
So you give it the parameters and say, I want an about page and I want a, core values page and a missing page, and it will build those pages.
Yeah. So it can custom build websites. Yeah.
Does it collect images, or you have to put the images in?
It depends on what type of images you're using. If you're using yours, like
proprietary, yeah.
I mean, if you want to use stock images,
it'll go grab them.
Yeah. It depends on what you want to use.
That's insane. That's it. So if I had on my website, I wanted to have a payment portal, like about you buy your services, and right, will it has the ability to create something like that as well?
So first of all, that's a very good question for Khalees, my business. But
so you'll be texting him as we walk out today, going, "Yo, dude,
yeah, hey, can we do this?" Because the thing is it's every day. There's he's calling me saying, "Hey."
So in fairness, I mean, I guess again, what's your partner's name? Khalees. I won't even try his last name. You guys are just getting started, right? I mean, this is really ground up.
Yep.
LIBA is a very, very entrepreneurial based membership association. I mean, and as people have heard me say before, I have so much respect for people that put themselves out there and start a company. And there's just been so many people that we've had on the show and that I know as members that started, I mean, with nothing, literally with nothing. And the classic one that I know, probably the most intimately, is Joe Hampton, because I worked for Joe and for the Hampton Enterprises companies for quite a while. And Joe he started his entire company. He was an electrician. He started his entire company by building one house.
Yeah.
And then took the profit from that one house and went and bought another lot and built another one. And 1948, right? I think Theo Haas, started in 1947, right? They're another one, right? It's just, these companies are just incredible, and they started with nothing. The Diode Technologies we had last week, they were what did you say, Jackson? 120 years old when they started down in Diller Odell.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Or I guess it'd say Odell Diller, and Diller Odell, and they called it Diode. Yeah. It was a long time. But I have so much respect for that, because in total transparency, I never had the cojones to go start my own company, put everything at risk, put it all on the table and say, shoot, I could lose it all. And you're at the very, very beginning of that journey, but you're ready to go to market with customers.
Yeah, we can onboard up to 5,000 companies right now.
Okay. We start with one and go to 5,000, right?
That's the plan.
How are you getting the word out? How are you marketing what you're doing?
So we
using your own technology, I hope.
Yeah, actually, that's something that we're in the process of. It's a weird thing to try to describe that we are.
I'm still trying to figure it out, and we spent 40 minutes talking about it.
Yeah, so. We're automating an automation company. So, we're setting our own ads up and doing all that stuff. But we're actually in the process of putting together like a demo video, a promo video demo, to where, like we can put an ad together, we can throw a flyer out there, but this business isn't as simple as, this is our product and this is what it costs.
No.
Right. So we want to give everyone at least a basic understanding of what this thing can do and what the user interface looks like, and what some of the capabilities of it are, and like a minute long tutorial video. And that's going to be out here pretty soon. That should be running all next week. We're going to be running some ads, and that's something that obviously we've only onboarded like 2 companies so far. We're in the process of getting another one. And we're still integrating some of the stuff on the back end. And, we haven't fully decided, what is the big plan for all this ad spend. And honestly, we'd like to start locally. Like, we want to work with people in the area. We want to keep continuously asking the questions of what can we help with, how do we help you guys grow? And, so that's, the word of mouth, is going to be a big part of it. There are a handful of people that I know, real estate agents,
you have a real estate background, right? Residential real estate. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
And so there are real estate agents that I know personally, that we are going to start getting them integrated and everything, and helping them set up some of the things that they need help with.
So maybe industry by industry.
Exactly.
Right? Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Dre, this has been a fascinating conversation. I hope people have enjoyed it. We're going to take another break, and we will be back to the LIBA Business Hour shortly.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Make sure you tune in every Saturday morning from 10 to 11 a.m. for all things youth football with Tank Perry and Jim Sandman. Learn how the game of youth football has grown in and around the capital city with coaches, athletic directors, and league commissioners telling you all about it. It's all things youth football with Tank Perry and Jim Sandman every Saturday morning from 10 to 11 a.m. right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Water heater gone? Call Bryant. The price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. And in most cases, same-day replacement. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111.
Bagels & Joe is the best place to start off your mornings. And you can order your breakfast ahead of time on their app. You can't go wrong with one of their great bagel sandwiches or breakfast burritos. Stop by any of their 4 locations in Lincoln and their location in Seward. Bagels & Joe.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and my schedule can get a little hectic. From softball practices to going to class, traveling for games, spending time with family, and catching up with friends, I am always on the go. I want a bank that can help me from anywhere, but also be there when I need them. That's Midwest Bank. They have the same mobile banking technology as those big banks, but have that hometown feel that I like every time I walk through the doors. They make banking easy no matter where I am. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships, one with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines, unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks. Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
is Monster Jam. Witness big air, two-wheel skills, backflips, and all-out racing. It's the only place to see the world's best riders tear up the dirt in your favorite Monster Jam trucks like Gravedigger, El Toro Loco, Megalodon, and more. It's big-time fun for the whole family. Monster Jam, as big as it gets. Coming to Pinnacle Bank Arena April 18th through the 19th. Brought to you by BKT Tires. Tickets on sale now at monsterjam.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Back to the LIBA Business Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This segment sponsored by Ascend Aesthetics.
Welcome back to the LIBA Business Hour in our last segment, which is sponsored by Ascend Aesthetics. We greatly appreciate their support as well. A couple of shout outs I want to make. First off to Boyd at Superglass, Nebraska. Our newest member joined yesterday. So give a shout out to him. He is one of the only glass auto repair shops that don't do replacements. All he does is fix and prevents you from having to spend that deductible on your insurance, which is never going to cover your windshield anyway. So Superglass Nebraska, welcome to LIBA. Second off, next week is our BizNet that will be out at Nebraska Sports Council next Thursday, and that is at 7620 North 70th. So thank Nebraska Sports Council for sponsoring that. And the 15th, which is Tuesday the 15th, is the next LIBA luncheon, which is at the Cornhusker Marriott in the plaza side. It's not in the hotel side. It's in the plaza side on the third floor. And that is hosted by Choices Treatment, the center. So we appreciate their support for that as well. Dre, we just have a couple minutes left, but so first of all, anything else you would want to talk about? But you talked about maybe doing something for LIBA members.
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody that's in LIBA, a member of LIBA right now, we're running a 25% off special for them. Anybody that's a member. Again, these quotes are custom. We have to.
Right. You're not going to the grocery store and buying a jug of milk. This is very specific to what they need, what they want. Yes. Right. So it's kind of a la carte. They come back and you come up with a number that says, okay, this is what I think it'll take. Yeah. And then they get 25% off of that price.
Yes.
Awesome. What else? What have we not talked about that would be important or maybe would help one of our members understand, what it is that you're doing? Because you just showed me the dashboard, which is pretty cool. And I, recognizing a lot of this stuff is still under development, but what would anything else you would want to tell them?
I guess that any question that you anything that you have in your business and you're going to ask yourself, I wonder if it can do this. I wonder if it can help me with this. The answer is yes. And if it's not yes, we're gonna get there eventually.
So you have a phone number,
yes.
Right? 402-249-2436.
Yep.
Do you answer that phone or
I do? Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, that's one. Do you have an email address? Do you using email yet? Or are you just doing phone?
We're just doing phone right now.
Okay. So they can call or text?
Call or text. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yep. That line reaches me directly, and we'll get you set up with everything we need, and we'll get the ball rolling.
I think, and if nothing else, this has been incredibly valuable to me in terms of just trying to understand it. But, if nothing else, I think for our membership base, they now have a name and a phone number that they could text or call and just literally ask the question.
Yeah.
Can it do this?
That's what we're here for.
They describe describe a problem, describe a pain point, give you an opportunity to see if you can help.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, this has been the LIBA Business Hour. I'm Lincoln Zier, and you have with Dre Saka. Gosh, I'm telling you, man, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to send you flowers or something to make up for all this crap. Next week, I think we're on with Big Brothers Big Sisters. So kind of a nonprofit week. But if you have any thoughts or questions about the show or topics you'd like to see us cover or people you'd like to see us have on, or if you would like to be a victim in the chair that Dre's been in today, you may email me at lincoln@liba.org. So again, you've been listening to the LIBA Business Hour, and we appreciate your listening.
Hi, I'm Jake from Lexington.
I'm Ellen from Ogallala.
My name's Ray from Sydney.
Hello, I'm Jenny from McCook.
Ryan from Lincoln here. And I'm Steve from Omaha.